Okay, syncing the same recording with the thing so you guys can see me. This is my new, fall my fall animation. You guys already seen this one, but for the ones that know, I go by the Pharaoh Isaiah. Not trying to make this thing all like generic and shit. I'm trying to flow with this. It's gonna be something that just come in, let you guys know a couple updates, what's going on. So anytime you guys want to see what's going on with me, you guys could always just watch YouTube video or check in. Um, just came back from the gym. I got a nice workout. Went through the transformation. Went through the freaking what do you call it? The time portal. That's what I call it. Because I go in feeling one way, come out feeling another. Like I went in, you know, go in, came back out feeling pumped, energized, ready to tackle it. You know what I mean? So that's usually where I get in on that. Some of the supplements question came in. Some of these questions I just answer them because people always ask me, so I just kind of came up with the questions that people usually ask me, and then I just go off on that. What supplements do you take and why? Like, what supplements do you actually use and why? CMOS, number one for me. It cleanses the body with mucus. If you smoke or if you drink or you're taking sugars or anything like that, that build up mucus. Mucus is probably like 90% of the illnesses that your body will carry. Something in the lungs is mucus, something in the stomach mucus, in the brain mucus. They're just called different things, right? But altogether it's mucus. Jump in on some CMOS if you guys ever need a jar locally, you know who I am. If you need CMOS over like out of the city or need me to ship you something, let me know. I got some of that for you. This is more of my holistic wealth brand. Like wealthy mindset is me. I am wealthy mindset. So altogether, I am the mogul that became wealthy with the mindset for a wealthy mindset. Some of the other supplements I take, Silajit, really with the testosterone boosters, helps the brain function, cognitive functioning, gives me that extra pump in the gym. Maybe some ashwagandha is good. When you get inside there, it helps so much, helps with so much like brain functioning, lowering stress, lowering cortisol. I'm a certified personal trainer, so I take myself seriously. So I would expect my clients to take themselves seriously. I give them these type of supplements when I give them their workout plans. I do online personal training too. So for anybody that's just like, I don't really need a personal trainer, I just want to know the certain workouts I should be working on, hit me up. You already know what to do, and I'll set you up a workout plan. You just check your phone, see your workouts, you do your workouts, and we go from there. Doing some free trials right now, so if you want to run with that, that's cool. But it's not cheap. Maybe $80 a week. Seeing how much people make today with the tariffs in Canada and all that stuff going on. Um, Not that much affordable, but I have more for my higher end clients that can afford, 5K, 10K offers, my 10K, 5K offers where everything's wrapped up into one. So I wouldn't want to, mix up the two. I'm trying not to market to everybody, but I'm trying to market to the right people. So if you're watching this and your mindset's broke, not the identity you want to keep. So personal training, get involved, take some of these supplements, feel good, feel great. Come back when you feel good, feel great. Your mind will operate differently. You'll think differently. You'll see differently, and that will help you. I want to jump in on some knowledge. Join my school community. I'll be dropping beer gems. I just dropped a podcast, The Wealth Identity. Yeah, the wealth identity goes in on how the wealthy think, how the wealthy moves, some hidden truths. It got censored, so if you guys want to watch it, watch it. If you have any questions about it, ask me. But some of the things that were in there, they just got censored out because there was some very high level information that some people just wouldn't get. So as you're listening to it, you're like wondering why certain things are happening. Listen to it carefully. You might catch what I was saying, but some of it got censored out. I talk about more of these things inside the mindset meetings and inside my school community. So let's get into some of these things. Let's watch some of these videos that I had here because this is where I'm just kind of just chilling with you guys. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to make this thing so rushed. I feel kind of rushed. I feel like I'm rushing. I only have so much time on the video. So I'm gonna have to free up some space on this card or do something else so I can record much longer. Hopefully the battery lasts. But let's get into it. You know, some of these videos I was watching on TikTok. I'm wondering where I want to get into. Let's get into this right here. This one, they're going off on, yeah, let's go to this one here. Nobody is too busy. It's all about priority. This girl's at swim class or something, just catching a regular swim. How often do people check their phone? I looked that up here. I'm like, yeah, person, zoom that in here. A person checks their phone about 58 to 150 times a day. A day. 58 to 150 times a day you check your phone. Let's just say like, okay, you know, you're trying to be cool. You check your phone maybe like 20 times a day. That's still a lot. 30 times a day. That's still a lot. But on average, they're saying people check their phone 58 to 150 times a day. Priorities is important, right? But people don't know their priorities. Like some people need to put that shit in for real. Like get that shit really nailed down because yeah, there's a lot of people that want your attention and a lot of people want to talk to you. But for me, I never know what it is. I'm just a person that I'm gonna always check your message. If someone messages me, longest it'll probably take is like an hour because I checked my phone probably 3 to 4 times working, business, family, priorities, stuff that I got to deal with. So I'm probably just gonna run through your message quick if I want to read it or not, or if I save it. I know you guys see me save your messages. I will get back to those messages because I saved them so I could go back and read them. So I always go back later on and I'll read your message reply. You know how I do it. Um, Another thing when it comes to like this is one that I want to watch too. Working on yourself is very important, but again, let's talk about some money. This one,
The
let's see.
richest you'll ever feel is
This
at
guy was talking
30K a
about some
month.
money. I
Not
wanted to
10K
talk
a
about
month,
this.
not 20K a month, not 40K a month, not 50K a month, 30K a month. At 30K a month is when all of the normal person doors just open up for you. You can take trips whenever you want, multiple times a month. You can buy
Okay.
whatever clothes you want. You can buy a dog, you can start a family. 30K a month is the richest you will ever feel. When you hit 10K a month for the first time, it's one of those moments where you realize that that is not money at all. It was just for bragging rights. 30K a month is like that quiet level of like, okay, we can breathe now. So if you're not at 30K a month yet, or if you've never hit 30K a month, you're running out of time, my friend. It's 2025. There's a million ways to make money. I show you on.
Okay. So yeah, like 30K is crazy. Um, but very obtainable. Why do I say that? I sent out some of my close friends some of the things that our businesses does and the printing, the CMOS, the clothing brand, the music, the just everything we do, personal training, like the products and services, everything we do is roughly around 65,000 a month. Easy. Why doesn't it work? The systems, the way that people think, the way that people operate. Why doesn't it work? The divide and conquer. Some people are in the war and don't even know they're being bombed or attacked. They're just in it, right? So people call them NPCs because they don't even think anymore. They're just running off old programming, old mental programming, old mental thoughts, the way that they think about things and the way they say things and operate. They're like, yo, I want to stay me. I don't want to change. I want to stay the same. This other video I was looking at just kind of nails it down, like what is really going on.
Yeah,
play some of this video. I'm gonna
because
play you some of the
we
other video
don't
after.
want people to all have money.
They don't
The
want
powerful
people to have
people
money.
don't want that. That's exactly the answer. And why? Because otherwise, no one would work. Do you understand? The
Okay.
point of putting money is not to give you money. The point of putting money is to create the illusion that money is valuable, and therefore you work hard in order to obtain it. But in order for me to make you want to get money, I need to create artificial misery. Do you understand?
Misery.
Right? If there weren't poor people, you wouldn't want to be rich. It's only because you see people suffer that you would want to go make money for yourself. What do your parents tell you? Your parents tell you, work hard in school, make a lot of money.
I want to talk about that. The misery. He talks about the misery in sense of like the dogma, like the extra noise. You know, one of these wealthy friends that I know, he said to me like, in these richer neighborhoods, it's so quiet. You think it's a ghost town because people are just thinking and manifesting. They're not thinking or talking like extra noise. They're not overthinking stuff. They're just the noise level is just very low. But you notice in like these older, more poverty environments, it's more louder. You know, there's always something going on. There's people yelling and screaming, and that's how it is, really. You know, it's creating misery. They don't want you to have money because if you have money, then now you don't need to work in their system, right? There's nothing wrong with working in their system because we're all helping the world turn, right? And there's more money being printed. You don't really need to do that, but you start from small. You might work a job and work your way up. I talk about this all the time. There's nothing wrong with working a job. You work your job and you work your way up. But so much people get caught up into the dogma, the going out on the weekends and celebrating and then having nothing to spend. And, you know, they're slowly narrowing down. And 2025 is really crazy for this because of the tariff stuff. It's really breaking down that every time you get your paycheck, you're not even having enough to go celebrate anymore. You're not even making enough to do what you need to do. But for my higher clients, my higher paying clients, my clients that have mastered this skill of money, yeah, they're doing really well. No problem making money. But we talk about these type of stuff all the time. It's a misery, it's holding us back. It's always, you know, it's something that so much people can't see to where they call themselves the 1%. Another video I was watching, um, divide and conquer.
If you
Right?
wanted
This
to
is
stop
another thing
Africa
that
from
they
becoming
did
a superpower, you wouldn't have to
to
invent a new strategy.
not
The
just
blueprint has
Africa,
already
they
been
did this
written,
with people.
tested, and perfected over centuries.
Take this in.
You'd start by making sure Africa never unites. The easiest way to do that is by keeping people divided along ethnic, tribal, and religious lines. If they ever start working together, remind them of past grievances. Stoke.
Again, anybody coming together, they want they want to divide that. They don't want people coming together. Why? Because they will build a stairway to heaven, right? That's why they in the Bible they said something about, you know, God changed the language of everybody. He made everybody speak a different language just so they couldn't build a stairway to heaven. That is so powerful because we could have got to the stairway of heaven. Could have got to heaven with that stairway, right? But again, when it comes down to it, dividing and conquer. That's why inside my school community, collaboration is so important. That's why I always try to get people in. Everybody knows. Everybody talks to me. They're like, yo, man, this guy's always telling me to join his community, join his community, join his community. Yeah, because coming together and collaborating does something, and it's very powerful. But again, it's a very useful tool. Use it if you want to. If you don't, don't. But this is the problem we face today,
Fund separatist
right?
movements. Keep border disputes unresolved. Make sure every time they take one step forward, they take 2 steps back because they're too busy fighting each other. You'd install.
Too busy fighting each other. People love drama. People love the entertainment. People love the drama. So seeing people come against each other, everybody holding that stoicism, holding each other back, that is just number one for these people. Keep these people fighting all day, every day. We got to go make some money. Let's go print some money. No one's even watching. Let's just make this thing happen while these people go off and fight. So dividing us up 10 times easier when we fight each other. Just take that in, because I'm going to create a problem. I'm going to make it black versus white. I'm going to make it girl versus boy. I'm going to make it this person, this race against that race, this person versus that person, the government, the cops versus the police, the police versus the criminals, and this and that. Like, we're gonna keep doing that, and that's how much dividing there is. When you really think about it, some of you people are in like 4 of those at the same time. You get what I mean? Some people, even black people mostly, we're in like all of those at the same time, right? So think about it. Coming together is so much more powerful.
All leaders who serve foreign interests, not their people. Find the most corrupt, the most easily manipulated, the ones who crave wealth and status more than progress. Offer them power in exchange for loyalty. If a leader rises who actually cares about Africa, get rid of them. Assassinate them if necessary. But if that's too messy, just destabilize their government and back.
Yeah, yeah, I'd like to touch on that for sure. So many times I've tried to come up, you know what I mean? Like, I could easily blow this thing up, have the mindset, have the intelligence, have the awareness to do that. But again, wrong demographic, wrong environment could lead to destruction, misery, more problems, more things to divide us up. So stopping me is ideal. But I see the problem, I realize the problem, and I choose by choice to separate myself from those that don't understand. Why do I do that? I'm not trying to wake up the people that are sleeping. I'm only looking for those that are awake. So the ones that are already awakened, cool, let's go make some money. Because usually those are the people that are making 6 figures, even 10. Those people are making 6 figure, 7 figure earners that already understand what's going on here, and they just play the game from that perspective. They don't play the game from a scarcity mindset, not having enough, broke identity. Talked about this already in my podcast, the wealth identity. Make sure you guys go check that out. I'll probably leave a link in the bio. I'll leave a link in the description. But you already know where to find it. Being somebody of influence, being somebody that's standing up for themselves and knowing who they are, you will face those type of challenges, hands down. But knowing who you are and what you do, you don't have to play that game. Live life on your own terms, know who you are, right? These are just small elements that you could live by. Knowing that you're somewhat of influence doing something, you can make it. You can do what you're doing. It's just that you got to understand not to cross certain boundaries. Again, that video I was talking about, 30K a month. These people are billionaires, millionaires. They don't care if you're making 30K a month, right? But again, boundaries create success. Always remember that. Another one. Is there another one? No, there wasn't another one. I seen something about, forgot which one it was. It was something on relationships. This one was good for relationships. I wasn't really gonna talk about this one, but
I've noticed
this is very important.
that there's only room for my emotions when they're convenient for the woman that's asking me to be emotionally intelligent. That any emotional labor I do that's not for her convenience, or not that something she specifically asked for, that either goes unnoticed, or when I'm saying something that's not favorable, the shit gets used against me, and it becomes about how she feels about what I said, and not about the shit that I said.
Ladies, he making some too much sense. Somebody cry. Somebody cry. Somebody cry.
So what? All I'm saying, because saying that, all right, now we got our own money, we want y'all to be emotionally intelligent. That's a great fucking argument. Until it becomes a real life situation and you start to deal with an emotionally intelligent nigga and you realize it ain't been enough of them in your life and you don't know what to do with that type of man.
You're not lying. This is
faced that many times. Being emotionally intelligent, having multiple relationships that I went through that worked and didn't work, and just having that emotional intelligence. When it comes down to having that emotional intelligence, a lot of people don't know what to do with it. They just crash out, they get angry, they check out, and they just fall off. That's why majority of those past relationships didn't work out. There was no way to unshake someone with emotional intelligence. Um, just from the male perspective. For a female, for a woman, for a man's perspective, and from a woman's perspective, I always do that. From a man's perspective, because for a woman, she's more emotionally driven. So if a man's solid like a rock and he's not moving to your emotions, it's very hard to shake him. It's very hard to let the water move the rock. You know what I mean? So just check out my book, and The Art of Sexual Alchemy, A Way to Have Sex. Not just jumping into bed with anybody or anything, but if that's what you want to do, that book's for whether you want to just have a one night stand or you've been in relationships and you're trying to save your relationship. It's helped marriages. It's doing so much. Check it out. You already know where to find it. WealthyMindset.ca. But again, having an emotional intelligent guy is just very powerful. Emotionally intelligent woman is just, it's up there. It's up there with like the best thing to have because it's very understanding. Knowing her position is so powerful, empowers you as well, keeps you solid when you start to shake, because men ain't perfect. So every now and again, if a guy's feeling down or dealing with a hard day at work, she knows just what to do. Trust me. But again, let's get into it. There's another video I want to talk about. It's the habits that people have and how, the neural pathways connect in the brain. This is how the neural saying actual footage showing brain cells forming new connections by releasing neurotransmitters. This is how the brain's connecting thoughts in the brain. So repetition is the mother of skill. You can see how some of them are moving up and then they come back down. Some of them are moving up and they come back down, and there's a connection there, but it's just not as strong. When you can connect all of those neural pathways together, that neural connection, those neurotransmitters connect, that's when you create a new habit. Some of these people ask me questions about, what was one of those questions? People always ask, how do I reprogram my subconscious mind if I already have full of bad habits? Those bad habits, right, are constantly happening. You have to change it. You have to stop the bad habit when you realize it. So you first have to create the awareness of knowing that you're doing the bad habit. The second thing is changing the bad habit. There's no way around it. Change it. Find the replacement by swapping out maybe one of these circle things, right? Maybe it's one thing to the next thing. Swap it out, right? Swap it out. Swap it out. You start doing that thing, it's going to suck at first because the connections, they're not as strong. But as they get stronger, you'll start to see it's like going to the gym, right? You have a bad habit of either smoking or drinking or taking drugs or whatever you're on. Just for my lower paying clients, if you have one of these things, to stop the habit, you must swap it out and just nail it in, right? Nail it in as much as possible. Visualize it, work on it, walk yourself through it. But also, this is another very key element, is to destroy the old habit. Rage war against it, right? If you drink, you disassociate from drinking. You don't even know what drinking is. You completely destroy it. You never heard of drinking before. It doesn't exist in your new reality, right? And then you replace it. What do you do in this reality? Now I just read my books. Now I just work out. Now I just do this. And it doesn't always have to be that, Maybe you just drink a lot of water now. You get what I mean? Same difference, right? Another question, for you guys, if you guys want to answer this, What is but one belief you'd erase from your subconscious if you had the chance right now? Right? Like if you had the choice to change one of those subconscious things, what would it be? Leave it in the comments. Let me know what you think. Um, what is one of those things in your subconscious that you would just completely erase if you could? If you have the confidence to leave a comment, go ahead, leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Another one, you know, we go on about these things about the mind and how it works and stuff like that inside my school community. Yeah, you could always go on TikTok and stuff, but it's good when you could collaborate, right? Like minds think alike, like-minded individuals inside our school community. And for our lower paying clients, they get to see what a good collaboration looks like. So join the school community, get inside, man. You know what to do. Um, the price is at the value that it is for the community. If you need a special offer, have the confidence to come out, speak to me, let me know what you want to do, man. Like, self-mastery is one. I'm not here gonna be dressed up in suits and ties. I could be, because this is all business. But I want to come to people with an authentic perspective. The money I make is not gonna make a difference in your life, right? The thousands and thousands of dollars, the hundreds of thousands of dollars that I have in my life, and it's not gonna make a difference in your life, right? So we have to change it in your life, right? I'll always be there to have your back and be able to support you in any way, shape, or form that I can. But again, it's never gonna change what your outcome is unless we come together. We're able to talk about some things. Listen to my new podcast, The Wealth Identity. I dropped a hidden gem in there that you guys might want to be paying attention to. And another thing I want to talk about here, there's so much stuff. I don't think I have enough time. I probably have like 3 minutes left. That was on relationships. I was gonna go in on this one. All right, this one was talking
Some
about
like out like goth, kind of like
what kind of
tatted
girls
all
you like.
over.
So
That's
Like,
your
I just
type?
felt like, this was
Have you
something
ever
that I could
been
relate
with
to.
anyone like that? Literally?
Like I like a different person. I
yeah.
like
Where do you
someone that's
find
different,
them?
right? Someone that's just
Um,
like a complete matrix glitch
like
from what
Comic-Con.
the world
Okay,
expects of you,
I wish you'd give me
right? They
real
expect you to
answers.
look for
Yeah.
corporate, for
If
clean,
you
very
don't,
like I need
if you
someone
don't pop
that's
out with a goth
I
spiritual,
I'm
really
gonna.
feel
someone
like
very
my
spiritual on a
I
destiny is to
spiritual
really.
end up with
journey
like a
with like
goth
I
Shut
like
sugar
up.
that too,
daddy with
like
just
That's
dreads with like
absolute
the whole
those
bulk.
two
thing
words.
from any
And
culture, right? Just
that's just honest.
dreads with the
And
like
O cups? What
I
the fuck
like
is an
that,
O cup?
and I also like the
Like O
gothic thing
cups.
too
What does
because
that mean?
the
Is that
gothic is
like
just
the
so
biggest
different.
size you can get? Is
It's
that what is
completely the
Like
that?
O cups,
opposite
you
of
know?
the
No,
norm
I
of
don't
what
know
other
what that
people would
means.
Like a
expect.
goth baddie
And
with
I
like
and I like
just
that
Big
vibe of
boobs?
knowing that
yes.
You want a goth
people
baddie
could be
with big
different
boobs.
and still come
That's
together.
what your type is?
I love that.
Yeah,
This
also
is so
funny.
beautiful to me.
A funny goth.
Another thing, uh, working on all aspects, man. When it comes to your relationships, make sure you're satisfying your girl in all aspects or ways. There is people out there who can, you know, we don't want to go on all that right now. I'll save that one for later. Um, let's get into maybe some more questions, and then I'll wrap this one up. Some of the things, what else, man? There's just so much. I just dropped the podcast, just dropped, got some music coming out soon, working on a few more things. One of the questions I see here is, what kind of the content do you consume actually? I consume all kinds of content. Um, More metaphysical mindset stuff. I like going in on all kinds of things, mindset, um, you know, sometimes sports, sometimes music. I like different industries, different cultures, wealthy mindset, of course, money mindset, all kinds of stuff like that. I always jump into different ones. But for the most part, I like to consume content that empowers me to learn more. That's giving me a little bit of insight that I need to do a little bit more deep diving on my own. I never just take what I see on the surface ground. I usually just go back and do my own research, maybe ask ChatGPT, do what I got to do to find out the real information that I need to look for. And sometimes the content that I'm looking at is giving me content ideas, and it's also making me want to ask a better question. Like, what question is it not asking from that information that I just received? So that's the kind of content I like to consume. Football running tomorrow. Football running tomorrow. The camera just ended, but I'm gonna keep it running. Some of the things that I want to go in on, because one part's still recording. One of the things, football tomorrow, I think it's the Eagles versus the Cowboys. Let me know who you think's gonna win. Eagles versus the Cowboys. Let me know who you think's gonna win. I'll probably place a bet, see what's going on with that. Always like to make some money here and there. Playing this game of life is fun and entertaining. There's ways to do things. Some of the key takeaways from today is just collaborating, understanding how to make money, understanding how money works, how the system is also coming against you, and how to win. Ultimately, coming together is just one key element. I'll leave the rest of it for later. Stay in shape, keep your body right, high energy, high income, creating those habits, right habits and neural pathways in the brain, creating them. I think I talked about how to stop them, actually destroying the old habit, replacing it, and nailing in a new habit. Some of the other stuff that I went on was, some of the relationship stuff, being emotionally intelligent, understanding the mind. And that's just a really good thing to have. It's one of those key elements. There's a lot more elements I'll be going in on in other videos. But yeah, man, this is, it's like the first one I'd be doing. So I like to cook this one up. When it comes down to your personal fitness, some of the biohacking stuff that I added. I'll probably answer one or two more questions before anything else. Said if you had $1,000 to flip in 30 days, how would you do it? I'll save it for the next video, or I'll just add it into this one. Well, to flip $1,000 is find out what value that will give you more than $1,000 can pay you, and then pay for that, and then gain the value that gives you more than $1,000 in returns when you actually use it. So that way, when you spend $1,000, you learn the skill, or you have the mindset, or you gain some type of value that's going to make you $3,000. How I would do it in 30 days, I wouldn't really put a date on it. I know that the time the wealthy think is a different identity. I'm not racing or chasing a flip. I know that flip comes when I need it, and I just think with abundance, knowing that that flip always comes right when I need it. So how would I flip it in 30 days? I would just learn the skill that's going to pay me more and, play the long-term game. I know once I actually flip that $1,000, the return will give me $5,000, $10,000. I spent $1,000 to gain some value that I could use for the rest of my life. I think that's a lot more valuable than flipping it within the 30 days. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the breakdown in a nutshell. So, I left you guys with some gems. How am I gonna finish this? Oh yeah, I know exactly. You can't live with no regrets. So don't you ever forget it's Wealthy Mindset. Make sure to go to wealthymindset.ca, find all the information you need, whether you need, some new drip, some new clothing. Another thing, shoot, man, for clothing, I know the video ended and I'm just gonna be running it off this, but for clothing, I seen something. These are pretty dope. I thought these were pretty sick, right? The winter time's coming. The winter time's coming. It's getting cold out. I want to run with some of these. I was thinking about running with some of these. Like, these are pretty sick. Like, get one with like the wealthy mindset. If you see this person, reach out to them. Let them know Wealthy Mindset Ltd is trying to reach them for a new design. If they can, I'll get like a one of one. If anybody needs one, we'll do something else. We'll probably do it in our school community, give it as a giveaway for, our high. For the ones on our leaderboard, the ones that are winning on the leaderboard, I'll give out another one. We'll get 2. Reach out to this person, let me know. I even shoot this person a follow on. Let me shoot this person a quick follow. I reached out to them on Instagram, is where I found them. But yeah, these are pretty dope. I would want to get one with like black and have like a WM on the side. But yeah, can't live with any regrets, so don't you ever forget it's Wealthy Mindset. WealthyMindset.ca.com, WealthyMindset.ca for all the stuff you guys need. Again, the book, Art of Sexual Alchemy, the school community, the trading stuff, the mindset stuff, the fitness stuff, whatever you guys need, it's all there. Go ahead and check it out. And I'm going to see you guys next time. Stay wealthy, stay healthy, and yeah, talk soon.